Airlines are literally banking on you not knowing what you can ask for. And today, I'm about to expose every single free thing they're hiding from you. Because here's the truth. Every airline has a secret list of complimentary items and services that most passengers never hear about. And the only reason you don't get them? You never ask. If you're tired of paying for every tiny add-on while watching other travelers somehow get special treatment, upgraded comfort, or even bonus meals for free, this video is your insider playbook. By the end, you'll know exactly what to ask for, how to ask for it, and why flight attendants are actually waiting for you to speak up. Here's the catch, though. You have to ask. These perks aren't advertised because airlines profit from silence. For every passenger who doesn't know, they save money. For every passenger who does, they quietly hand out the goods and move on. Airlines operate under something called discretionary service policies. That means they can offer these items, but they don't have to tell you about them. It's not a secret conspiracy, it's controlled efficiency. They keep backup supplies, comfort items, and bonus services on board, but only distribute them when requested. And that's why frequent flyers seem to live in a different world. They've learned how to ask for what's already there. So today we're breaking down 12 completely free things you can ask for on your next flight, from comfort upgrades and food hacks to medical essentials and entertainment bonuses. And trust me, item number 9 is something 99% of passengers don't even know exists. It can transform a red-eye flight from miserable to first-class comfort. Let's get started. Number 1, extra snacks and full beverage cans. You know when the flight attendant pours half a can of soda into that tiny plastic cup and takes the rest away? Yeah, you can absolutely ask for the entire can. And in most cases, extra snacks too. They're not holding out on you out of spite. They're just following a service pattern. Airlines pre-stock more snacks and drinks than they expect to use. It's a safety buffer for delays, extra service rounds, and passenger requests. If the plane lands with leftover snacks, they often get tossed or restocked. Airlines would rather give it to you than waste it. Here's what you gain when you ask. The entire can of your drink, 2 to 3 times more than usual. Extra snack packs for long flights. A better connection with the crew. And sometimes premium snacks from the business cabin. Timing matters. Ask early during service when supplies are plentiful. If you're polite, you can even score extra snack boxes or meal components on longer routes. Try this line. Could I have the full can, please? And if you have an extra snack pack, I'd really appreciate it. Be courteous, and it'll go a long way. And the reason this works so well ties directly into the next item, because once you understand how cabin inventory really functions, you'll realize how much flexibility flight attendants actually have. Number 2, extra blankets, pillows, and comfort items. On most legacy carriers, there are extra comfort kits, blankets, pillows, and sometimes even amenity pouches stored away. They're just not distributed automatically. Why? Because distributing fewer upfront means less cleaning, less restocking, and less waste. But they are on board, especially extras for premium cabins or emergency use. Here's why this exists. Federal aviation rules require airlines to maintain passenger comfort on long delays, meaning they must have backups on hand. By asking, you unlock better sleep on long or cold flights, neck support and warmth for overnight routes, a quieter, cozier experience overall. The pro move, board early and subtly check the overhead bins near business class. If you spot stacks of blankets, mention it casually when you ask. It signals that you know what's available. Try, excuse me, would it be possible to get an extra blanket and pillow? I'm hoping to get some rest. And if you think an extra pillow helps, wait till you hear what comes later, because point number 4 is the real sleep game changer that almost no one asks for. But before that, let's cover a simple comfort tool that most passengers overlook. Number 3, headphone adapters and charging cables. Ever boarded a plane only to realize your phone doesn't fit the headphone jack or your cable's wrong for the outlet? You're not alone, and airlines know it. That's why many carriers stock adapters and universal charging cables. They're usually tucked away in the galley, reserved for passenger requests. Here's why. Customer satisfaction metrics. Airlines track complaints, and dead devices are a major issue. Supplying cables is an easy fix to improve ratings. By asking, you get full use of in-flight entertainment with your own headphones, the ability to charge devices the entire flight, a smoother experience overall. Just ask, do you have a headphone adapter or a charging cable I could borrow? They'll usually hand one over with a smile. Now this leads directly to point number 4, the hidden gem that almost no one knows about, and it might just change your next overnight flight. Number 4, complimentary ear plugs and sleep masks. This is one of the best kept secrets in economy class. Most airlines carry earplugs and eye masks for long-haul or red-eye flights. They're standard for business class, but many carriers stock extras that economy passengers can request. Why? Because premium cabins rarely fly at full capacity, and extra comfort kits are stored as spillover inventory. Instead of wasting them, they'll give them to whoever asks first. When you request them, you gain noise reduction for better rest, light blocking for deeper sleep, reduced jet lag, and that feeling of being in business class without paying for it. Ask during boarding when attendants still have full access to storage. That's your window of opportunity. Say, I'm on a red-eye tonight. Do you have any earplugs or a sleep mask available? You'll be surprised how often they say yes. And the reason these comfort perks exist ties right into point number 5, which takes the concept of in-flight comfort to a whole new level. This time, involving food. Number 5, hot water for tea, coffee, or instant meals. This one's pure gold for savvy travelers. Most passengers don't realize that flight attendants will happily provide hot water for free, even outside beverage service. You can bring your own tea bags, instant coffee, or even instant meals like soup cups or oatmeal. Here's why it works. The galley has hot water dispensers at all times, for both crew and passengers. Providing it costs nothing, and it falls under the airline's service accommodation policy. You gain your control over what you consume, comfort food at 30,000 feet, a healthier or more customized meal, and the satisfaction of saving $10 to $20 compared to airport food prices. Pro tip, bring an insulated travel cup. It keeps liquids hot and avoids spill issues. Ask, could I get some hot water, please? I brought my own tea. It's such a simple ask that instantly levels up your experience. Quick reminder, if you're the kind of traveler who loves finding smart, no-cost upgrades like this, make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly. Every week, we share real travel systems that airlines would rather you didn't know about. Number 6, first aid and over-the-counter medications. Every commercial flight is legally required to carry a full first aid kit and a selection of basic medications, pain relievers, antacids, allergy meds, and antiseptics. They don't advertise it because they can't distribute freely, but if you request it for personal use, they can help you immediately. The reason, federal law. The FAA mandates that airlines have these kits on board. So yes, you're entitled to them when needed. You can ask for Band-Aids for cuts, pain relief for headaches, antacids for stomach upset, ice packs for swelling. Say, could I get something from the first aid kit for my headache? Simple, clear, and completely allowed. Number 7, sanitary products and basic toiletries. Most flight attendants carry emergency sanitary items, tampons, pads, toothpaste, toothbrushes, even razors and wipes. They exist because airlines know emergencies happen, and helping a passenger in need builds goodwill. By asking, you ensure no discomfort from unplanned needs, freshness before landing for meetings or long layovers, a calmer, cleaner, more confident flight experience. And on long-haul flights, check the lavatories. Some airlines stock refresh packs with lotion, mouthwash, or wipes. If they're not visible, just ask, would you happen to have a toothbrush kit available? Flight attendants get these requests all the time. Don't hesitate. And speaking of making travel smoother, this next freebie helps not you, but your kids or any little traveler in your group. Number 8, children's activity packs and toys. Yes, they exist, and they're adorable. Many airlines carry crayons, coloring books, puzzles, or small toys for young passengers, but they rarely hand them out unless you ask. Ask early in the flight, do you have any activity packs for kids? You'll often get one, and sometimes even collectible junior pilot wings or stickers. Number 9, alternative meal options and dietary accommodations. Even if you didn't pre-order a special meal, flight attendants often have extras: vegetarian, gluten-free, kosher, or even premium leftovers. Ask after the first meal service, once they know what's left. Are there any alternative meals available? Flexibility and kindness can go a long way here. Number 10, seat changes and the occasional upgrade. If the flight isn't full, you can absolutely request a seat change after boarding is complete. After takeoff, wait for the seatbelt sign to go off. Then ask discreetly, "I noticed a few empty seats. Would it be possible to move there for comfort?" You might even score a quiet row, or on rare occasions, an upgrade. Number 11, ice packs and cold compresses. These are part of the first aid inventory but often go unused. If you have swelling, a migraine, or just need to cool off, ask for an ice pack or cold compress. Say, "Could I please get an ice pack? I've got a headache." Simple, effective, and totally free. Number 12, recipe cards, airline memorabilia, and branded items. This one's pure fun. Many airlines hand out recipe cards, postcards, or collectible items like anniversary pins or junior pilot certificates. Just say, "I'm a big fan of this airline. Do you have any recipe cards or memorabilia available?" You'll be surprised how often they'll come back with something special. Now here's the master key phrase you can use for any of these requests. "Excuse me, would it be possible to request this specific item? I'd really appreciate it." It's polite, clear, and signals to the crew that you respect their service flow while knowing your rights. Remember, flight attendants aren't gatekeepers. They want to make your experience better, but they can't read your mind. When you ask respectfully, everyone wins. So here's when to use these: during beverage service, snacks and drinks; during boarding, comfort items and sleep aids; anytime medical or hygiene needs; before meal service, dietary options; after ever boarded a flight and watched someone breeze past you, settling into an unbelievably spacious seat while you're still wrestling with your carry-on, dreading the middle seat you paid for? What if I told you the difference between that stressed-out traveler and the one already sipping a drink with acres of legroom isn't just luck? There's a secret, perfectly legal, and ridiculously effective trick to virtually guarantee yourself a better, more comfortable, and often free airplane seat on almost every single flight you take. This isn't just for the savvy traveler. It's for anyone who's sick of cramped knees and feeling utterly exhausted before their trip even truly begins. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll possess the master key phrase that unlocks a world of comfort you didn't even know existed. The catch? You have to understand why they hide it, and then you have to be ready to use it. The airlines thrive on predictability and your willingness to pay extra for comfort. This information disrupts their perfectly crafted system. It's about leveraging their own rules against them, in your favor. And today, BoardiFly is exposing the entire playbook. We're going to dive into specific strategies, the exact language to use, and reveal a hidden gem later in this video that's even more powerful than what you think you're about to learn now. Ready to reclaim your airspace? Trick number 1, the power of strategic procrastination for premium economy. Let's kick things off with a concept that sounds wrong but is oh so right: strategic procrastination. Airlines want to sell you upgrades, right? Premium economy, those seats with a few extra inches of legroom, better recline, maybe even an upgraded meal. They price them high initially to catch the eager beavers and business travelers. But what happens if those seats don't sell? Airlines despise empty seats, especially premium ones. An empty seat represents lost revenue. As the departure time draws closer, if those premium economy seats haven't sold, airlines face a dilemma. They'd rather have someone in that seat than let it go empty. This is your sweet spot. This whole benefit exists because the airline's mandate is to maximize profit per flight. If a premium seat isn't selling, its value diminishes drastically close to departure. It becomes a liability. Here's your action plan. Monitor the seat map. Days and hours before your flight, keep checking the airline's seat map. Look for premium economy sections that are still largely empty. Avoid early seat selection. If you're targeting an upgrade, sometimes not selecting a seat immediately after booking can work in your favor, especially if you're flying solo. Check-in window. The sweet spot often begins around 24 hours before departure when online check-in opens. Airlines might start assigning unallocated premium seats to general economy passengers to balance the aircraft or simply fill them. Gate agent is key. As always, the people at the gate have the ultimate power here. If you see a significant number of premium economy seats open at the 24-hour mark and you haven't selected a seat yet, often the system will automatically assign you one of those open seats during check-in to balance the aircraft. It's an algorithm's way of tidying up. When checking in, always review the seat map. If premium economy looks sparse, consider not selecting a standard seat and letting the system potentially gift you one. Trick number 2, the weight and balance game, your secret weapon. All right, this next one is pure gold, and it's something airlines absolutely have to do for safety: weight and balance. An airplane is a finely tuned machine that needs its weight distributed precisely. This isn't just about total weight, it's about where that weight is. And guess what? This operational necessity is your secret entry point to a better seat. Every flight has a load master or flight dispatcher responsible for creating a load sheet. This dictates how passengers and cargo are distributed to maintain stability. If too many people are bunched up, say, at the front or the back, it can create issues. Airlines prefer to spread people out. This means if the back of the plane is empty, but the front economy seats are full, they might need to move people. This isn't a customer service perk. It's a non-negotiable safety mandate from aviation authorities worldwide. Improper weight and balance can lead to catastrophic accidents. Therefore, the ground crew and gate agents have the authority to move passengers around if the distribution isn't optimal. Here's how you play the game. Observe the cabin. As you board, take a quick mental note of where people are congregating. If one section, especially the very back or a specific middle section, looks unusually empty, your chances improve. Strategic seat selection. Initial. If you're not going for the premium economy gamble, consider selecting a seat in a less desirable area initially, like the very last row. This makes you a prime candidate for a voluntary move. The gate agent power play. This is where you speak up. Polite inquiry, not demand. Approach the gate agent before boarding, or if you're desperate, a flight attendant after boarding is complete. If a flight is light and they've closed boarding, sometimes the flight attendants will proactively ask passengers to move to balance the plane. If you've been polite and made a good impression, you might be offered a much better seat than just a different economy spot, simply because you're seen as a helpful passenger. When speaking to the gate agent, politely ask, "Are there any opportunities to assist with weight and balance or reseating today?" Trick number 3, the operational necessity lottery, your chance at exit rows. This next one targets those glorious exit row seats. You know, the ones with acres of legroom that usually cost a premium. Well, sometimes airlines have to give them away for free, and you can be the lucky recipient. Aviation regulations require that passengers seated in exit rows meet specific criteria. They must be able-bodied, willing to assist in an emergency, and understand crew commands. If for whatever reason, the initially assigned passengers for these seats don't meet the criteria, or if the flight has been reshuffled, the airline must fill those seats with qualified individuals. This is your window of opportunity. This is a strict regulatory requirement for passenger safety. An exit row isn't just extra legroom. It's a critical safety function. This creates a last-minute scramble to find suitable passengers, which often happens right at the gate. Follow these steps. Dress the part. Subtly. Looking alert, capable, and confident can subconsciously signal to staff that you meet the exit row criteria. Arrive early. Be at the gate well before boarding begins. Direct, polite inquiry. Don't beat around the bush. Confirm eligibility. Be ready to confirm that you understand and are willing to assist in an emergency. If you see a gate agent trying to move someone out of an exit row, that's your cue to politely offer your services, as they clearly need a replacement fast. At the gate, approach the agent and say, "I understand exit row seats require specific qualifications. If there are any available that need to be filled by an eligible passenger, I'd be happy to assist. Now, before we get into the final two crucial steps, let me just drop a little bombshell. Everything I've told you so far is incredibly powerful. Yes, it will change the way you fly. But there's one specific strategy we'll cover next that is so counterintuitive, so far outside the conventional wisdom of airline travel, that it can override all other strategies and land you in an absolute dream seat, even when the flight looks completely full. It's the ultimate hidden gem of this trick. This is the trick that airlines truly don't want you to know because it directly challenges their revenue model in the most profound way. Prepare yourselves for trick number 4, the art of the split reservation, the ultimate free upgrade gambit. This is the big one, the master key, the hidden gem I promised. It's called the split reservation, or the ghost upgrade technique, and it works best when you're flying with a companion, but crucially, when you don't necessarily need to sit next to each other. This leverages a very specific operational protocol within airlines, and it's brilliant. Airlines often have a limited number of premium seats they hold back. When a flight is overbooked in economy, or when they need to make space, they look for solo passengers to upgrade. Why? Because moving one person is simpler than finding two adjacent premium seats for a couple. This is where your split reservation becomes pure gold. This strategy works because airlines prioritize operational efficiency and minimizing disruption. If they have to move passengers, they will always try to move single passengers into premium seats first. By splitting your reservation, you're effectively telling the system, hey, here are two separate solo travelers, even though you're flying together. Your ultimate playbook, book as normal. Book your flight for both you and your companion as a single reservation initially. Wait for confirmation. Once confirmed, immediately call the airline's customer service number. The split request. Politely request that your reservation be split into two separate reservations. Explain that you might have different travel plans later. Crucially, ensure you both retain your original confirmed seats if you have them. Monitor your flights. Both you and your companion are now technically solo travelers in the airline system. Be prepared for the call. If the flight is overbooked, they're much more likely to call one of the solo passengers from your original party for an upgrade. The double chance. You now have two separate chances for an upgrade because the airline sees two individual travelers, each a candidate. If you and your companion are flexible about sitting together, one of you might get a fantastic upgrade and the other remains in economy. One incredible seat is better than two mediocre ones. When calling to split your reservation, simply say, I'd like to split my reservation into two separate bookings, but please ensure we retain our current seat assignments if possible. Trick number 5, the art of polite persistence, asking on board. This final trick is less about a system exploit and more about human interaction. The art of polite persistence after boarding. Sometimes all the magic happens once the cabin doors are closed. Once the aircraft doors are closed, the gate agents are gone and the flight attendants are in charge. They know exactly which seats are truly empty, including those premium ones that might not have been sold or allocated. They also have the authority to move passengers to balance the plane or simply to make a flight more comfortable, especially if there's an issue with a passenger's assigned seat. Flight attendants want a smooth, happy flight. If there are empty premium seats, it costs the airline nothing to move a deserving or polite passenger. Your final opportunity. Be patient. Don't ask immediately. Wait until boarding is complete, the doors are closed, and the flight attendants have finished their initial safety checks and passenger count. Observe the cabin. Again, look around. Are there obvious empty seats in premium economy or even standard economy rows with extra space? Find a moment. Approach a flight attendant during a lull. Be polite, specific, and flexible. Don't demand, inquire. If you notice a problem with your assigned seat, say the recline doesn't work or the light is broken, this becomes your golden ticket. Politely inform a flight attendant. If there are empty premium seats, they are highly likely to move you there as a service recovery gesture. After the doors close, if you spot an empty premium seat, discreetly ask a flight attendant, "Excuse me, I noticed there are some empty seats in the premium economy/exit row section. Would it be possible to move there if no one is assigned?" Conclusion and final takeaways. There you have it. BoardiFly family, the secrets are out. No more being stuck in the middle seat when opportunity knocks. Remember this master key phrase, the ultimate phrase that combines curiosity, politeness, and leveraging airline operations. I'm curious about opportunities to assist with operational needs or reseating today, especially if there are unassigned premium economy or exit row seats. This isn't about being pushy. It's about being informed and politely assertive. Use these strategies. Monitor seat maps, leverage weight and balance, understand exit row rules, master the split reservation for upgrades, and always ask politely on board. When to apply this advice: 24 hours before flight, online check-in; at the gate, pre-boarding; right after boarding, once doors are closed. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever successfully used a trick to get a better seat? What was your secret? Share your stories and tips in the comments below. Here's the truth airlines don't want you to know. The cheapest flight is never the one you see first. And buried inside Google Flights are tools that can save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars on your next trip, if you know where to click. If you're planning a trip, whether it's your dream vacation, a quick weekend getaway, or a long-haul flight across the world, this video is for you. I'm going to transform you from a basic flight searcher into a flight pricing ninja. Stick with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly how to unlock prices most travelers will never see. The secret is simple. You can't use Google Flights the way everyone else does. Most people type in their destination, hit search, and stop there. That's why they pay too much. But if you understand the hidden features and filters, you'll outsmart the system every single time. Why is this information hidden? Because airlines thrive on confusion. They want you to think finding the lowest price is random, when in reality there's a strategy, and Google Flights quietly gives us the clues. So today, I'll walk you step by step through the insider ways to use Google Flights, the secret filters, the powerful flexible date hacks, the search anywhere feature, the multi-city trick, and yes, even the advanced, slightly controversial tricks that can cut your ticket in half. This is your playbook to finding the cheapest possible flights, and we're diving straight in. 1. Why Google Flights is your non-negotiable starting point. First things first, always start with Google Flights as your baseline. It's crucial to understand what this platform actually is. Google Flights isn't like Expedia or Orbitz. It doesn't sell tickets. It's an aggregator. It scans almost every airline and booking site on the internet, then directs you to where you can buy. Because it's not taking a commission or trying to push you toward one specific vendor, the data is cleaner, faster, and less biased than nearly any other search engine. Think of it as the source of truth for flight prices. When an airline drops a fare, Google Flights is often the first place to know. This is why we start here, and not on an airline's direct site or a third-party booking agent. 2. Search without a destination. Here's what I want you to do. Instead of typing both your departure and destination, only type your departure airport and leave the destination blank. What you'll see is a full map of the world showing ticket prices to dozens of cities at once. Visual, show a split screen, one side showing a typical search with destination, the other showing a map with prices all over the world. This is the #1 secret to using Google Flights. Most people never realize you can search without a destination, but this feature shows you the cheapest possible places to fly at any given time. Instead of a $1,000 flight to a city you chose, you might find a $300 flight to an incredible city you didn't even consider. Don't just search flights, search possibilities. You can add powerful filters right here on the map. Let's say you know you want to go to Europe in October. You can set your departure, select the Europe region on the map, and then use the date filter to choose a specific month. The map will instantly update to show you the cheapest cities only for that time frame. This is how you find those flash sales and hidden seasonal deals. 3. The flexible dates money saver. Now let's talk about flexible dates. This is one of the biggest money savers inside Google Flights. Flights vary dramatically depending on the day you fly. When you search a route, click on Date Grid. and you'll instantly see a calendar view of which combinations of departure and return dates are cheapest. But don't stop there. Next, click Price Graph. This tool is even more powerful. It lets you see the cheapest price for an entire month, plotted visually. For example, you might see a flight is $500 on Friday, but by simply departing on Tuesday, the price drops to $350. That's a $150 saving just by shifting your trip by a few days. Even shifting your trip by one day can save you hundreds. Want a quick pro move? Use the plus or minus 3 days option when you set your dates. This unlocks hidden discounts by showing fares within a window instead of locking you to exact days. I can't tell you how many times I've found a price drop simply because the airline's special fare bucket opened up 2 days after my initial search date. Flex by a day, save like a pro. 4. Automated savings, tracking prices like a pro. Next up, let Google do the work for you with price alerts. Flight prices change constantly, sometimes multiple times in a single day. Instead of refreshing your browser endlessly, click the Track Prices button. As long as you're signed into Gmail, you'll get an email whenever the fare rises or drops. But here's the pro-level alert strategy. Pro travelers take this even further by setting multiple alerts, one for exact dates and one for flexible dates, using that plus or minus 3 days option. Why do this? The exact date alert tracks the trip you want, but the flexible date alert tracks the lowest price possible. That way you'll instantly know if shifting your trip by a day cuts the cost or if the ideal dates have finally dropped to your budget. This strategy ensures you never miss the lowest price point, whether it's on your desired day or a flexible one. Don't chase the price. Let it chase you. 5. Mastering the filters, uncovering hidden fares. All right, let's keep going. Filters. Most travelers don't touch them, but the filters are where you uncover cheaper but still convenient flights. This is where you move from seeing general prices to seeing your ideal lowest price. You can filter by number of stops, airlines, alliances, bags, even flight duration. Let's use a tangible example. Say a non-stop flight from New York to London is $800. If you select one stop or fewer and set a maximum layover duration of, say, 3 hours, you might instantly see a one-stop flight drop to $450. That $350 saving is absolutely worth a short layover. Don't forget the baggage filter. Budget airlines are notorious for cheap base fares, but expensive carry-on fees. If a $300 fare turns into $380 after a bag fee, it might be more expensive than a full-service carrier's $350 ticket that includes a bag. The filters help you uncover the true all-in lowest cost option. Pro tip, airline alliances. If you collect points, you can filter by alliances. Star Alliance, Oneworld, SkyTeam. Google Flights lets you see all those partner flights most people miss, ensuring you still earn miles on the cheapest flight available. 6. Multi-city and open-jaw ticketing. Now let's go a level deeper. Open-jaw tickets. Instead of flying round trip from point A to point B and back to point A, New York to London and back to New York, book A to B and then C back to A, New York to London, and then Paris back to New York. Google Flights lets you do this easily with the multi-city search option. Why does this work? Airlines often discount multi-city itineraries to compete with budget carriers. More importantly, it maximizes your travel experience. Imagine flying into Rome and out of Venice, then taking a cheap scenic train between the two cities. You've saved money on the flight, avoided backtracking, and gained more flexibility and experiences in your trip. Open your route, open your savings. 7. Nearby airports, the drive to save strategy. Speaking of flexibility, don't ignore nearby airports. Many cities have multiple airports, and even driving an hour to a different one can save you hundreds. In Google Flights, check the box for nearby airports. Examples are everywhere. In New York, you might find Newark, EWR, is dramatically cheaper than JFK. In Los Angeles, Burbank, BUR, or Long Beach, LGB, might beat LAX. This strategy is especially powerful in Europe. Secondary airports like London, Stansted, or Paris-Beauvais are often dominated by budget airlines, making their fares dramatically cheaper than the main hubs like Heathrow or CDG. Drive a little, save a lot. 8. Advanced hidden city, incognito mode, and the currency switch. And now for the trifecta of advanced, often controversial, but high-impact tricks. A. Hidden city ticketing. This is when you book a flight with a layover in your actual destination and you skip the final leg. For example, instead of booking a direct flight to Dallas, you book LAX to Dallas to Miami, and you simply get off at Dallas. Sometimes the longer route is actually cheaper than the nonstop. Sites like SkipLag specialize in finding these. But, and this is a critical warning, never use this with checked bags because your luggage will fly to the final city, and never link it to your frequent flyer account because airlines hate it and can penalize you. Use wisely. B. Incognito mode. If you've ever felt like prices rise after you search the same route multiple times, you're not imagining it. Cookies in your browser can sometimes lead to dynamic pricing based on your search history. It's a simple test. Open an incognito window or clear your cookies and compare fares. You can even try a different device or IP address. Search fresh, save more. C. The currency and country switch. And here comes the final hidden gem. At the bottom of Google Flights, you can change your location and currency. Sometimes fares are cheaper when purchased in another market. For example, a flight sold in India or Mexico might be cheaper than the exact same flight sold in the US or UK. If you see a major difference, simply change your country to where the airline is based or to a country with a weak currency and purchase there. Just make sure to use a no foreign fee credit card so you don't negate the savings. Change your settings, change your savings. So what's the big takeaway here? Google Flights doesn't just show flights. It shows opportunities if you know where to click. You don't need insider status. You don't need a travel agent. These tools are sitting there for anyone who knows how to use them. And now you do. Here's your rapid-fire recap of your flight finding playbook. Start with the Explore map for inspiration or flexible destination pricing. Use the date grid and price graph for flexible dates to slash costs. Track prices so you never miss a drop. Filter like a pro by stops and baggage to find the true lowest fare. Experiment with open jaw routes and nearby airports. Picture this: 2 passengers, same flight, same plane, same exact seats. One paid $148, the other paid $612. Same arrival time, same stale pretzels, same recycled cabin air. Yet one traveler, maybe someone just like you, unknowingly funded 3 extra seats worth of airline profit, while someone else walked on board smiling, knowing they beat the system. That's the part airlines don't want you thinking about, because airfare isn't about distance, fuel, or fairness anymore. It's about data advantage. They know how you search. They know when you panic book. They know when you're tired, stressed, desperate to get home. And they use it every single day. But today that changes, because I'm walking you through 15 pricing secrets airlines use to extract more money from you, and how to flip them so you win instead. By the end of this video, you'll know how to spot price traps when airlines quietly drop fares, and the subtle booking moves travel pros use to save hundreds. And once you know, you cannot unknow, and airlines lose their advantage. Let's start with the one pricing trick costing travelers the most without realizing it. Secret number 1, the panicked browser penalty. Here's the unspoken truth. When you check a fare multiple times, airlines don't see a loyal shopper. They see stress. And in aviation pricing logic, stress equals urgency equals money. If you search and research a flight, prices start to creep up. Not because seats are selling, but because the system assumes you're ready to pay more. Smart travelers clear cookies or use private mode. But pros go further. They research on one device and book on another. Airline systems hate unpredictable behavior, so give them exactly that. And if that just surprised you, wait until the next one, because it's even more powerful and almost nobody uses it correctly. Secret number 2, airlines drop prices at weird hours, but not randomly. Most travelers think flight deals magically appear on Tuesday at noon, because travel blogs said so. Reality? Airline pricing cycles refresh overnight based on competitor data feeds. That's when the algorithm does its "who's cheaper than us" sweep. If the system spots a competitor lower, you get price dips around late Monday night, early Wednesday morning, and Saturday midnight releases. Not every route, but enough to matter. Imagine checking airfare half asleep, lights off, sipping tea, and seeing a ticket $120 cheaper than it was 12 hours prior. That's not luck. That's system timing. Secret number 3, the hidden city clash trick. Airlines don't just price routes based on your destination. They price routes based on competition to nearby cities. Flying to Milan? Prices might be high. Flying to Zurich, Venice, or even Paris nearby? Could be half. Sometimes the cheapest flight to your destination isn't to your destination. You just finished the last one to 2 hours by train or shuttle. Savvy travelers call this smart routing. Airlines call it annoying. Either way, your wallet calls it happy. Secret number 4, fare anchoring. They show you high prices on purpose. You know when you see a $2,400 ticket, then suddenly see a $780 one and feel like you just won? That wasn't an accident. Airlines do it to train your brain. High first price, lower price feels like a deal. Travel pros don't take the discount bait. We know if the anchor price is extreme, the cheap one probably isn't real value yet. This is pricing psychology warfare, and you're now immune. Secret number 5, mileage. Sweet spots aren't advertised. Airlines quietly offer redemption prices that give 2 to 4 times more value per point, but never tell you where they are. Business class to Japan on a partner airline. Short-haul domestic flights booked through international programs. Award charts hidden on obscure loyalty pages. People who fly for free don't collect points. They hunt value pockets. You don't need millions of miles. You need miles you use correctly. And we'll talk upgrades in a minute, because one of the biggest pricing loopholes combines miles with a ticket type travelers ignore. Secret number 6, hidden flex. Tickets save more than basic economy. You've probably seen basic economy, then regular economy, then flexible. Most people cheap out on the lowest one, thinking they're saving. But basic economy is engineered to punish you. Fees, restrictions, boarding last, no seat choice. The real move? Book the mid-tier fare when it goes on sale. Why? Because those flexible perks mean cheaper upgrades, refund or credit if prices drop, ability to add bags later at normal price, not basic economy penalties. Often includes seat selection, pay a little more upfront, save a lot in total cost and stress, and if you're traveling with kids or seniors, this one is a lifesaver. Secret number 7, flight plus hotel bundles aren't always a scam. Bundling sometimes hides a cheaper flight inside the package. The airline's logic? Fine, we'll discount the flight, but only if they take a hotel so we still profit somewhere. But savvy travelers do this: book the flight plus hotel. Use the hotel or don't, but capture the flight savings. Sometimes booking a bundle for 2 people is cheaper than buying one ticket alone. It's backwards and it's beautiful, and airlines hope you never test it. Secret number 8, the fake sellout trick. Ever see only one seat left at this price? Most travelers panic, but insiders know something. That may not mean only one seat left on the plane, just one seat at that fare bucket. Airlines divide seats into price tiers. They release them in waves. Sometimes when that little warning pops up, the next tier isn't even much higher, or another drop hits later. Scarcity makes decisions emotional. You now think logically. Control your emotions. Control your price. Secret number 9, multi-city tickets beat round trips. Round trip used to be the cheapest way to fly. Not anymore. Airlines reward creative routing, so booking home, destination A, destination B, arrow home, can save hundreds, especially in Europe or Asia. Why? It fills more seats across multiple routes instead of repeating the same city pair. Think like a network, not a round-trip traveler. Secret number 10, domestic flight first, international from a hub. You don't always need to fly international from your home airport. Example, flying to London from a small U.S. city might cost $1,300, but flying from Chicago, Boston, or New York, $420 to $650. Domestic hop plus international leg equals huge savings. Same applies worldwide. Accra to New York expensive? Accra to Lisbon to New York cheaper? Often. Airlines don't price fairly, they price strategically. And now, so do you. By the way, if you're loving how we're exposing airline logic like this, make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly. This isn't a channel about cheap travel, it's about smart travel. For people who want to fly better, save money, and stay one move ahead of the system, not behind it. All right, let's continue because the next one unlocks savings mid-booking, not just before you buy. Secret number 11, currency switching for discounts. Airfare isn't always cheapest in your country's currency. Sometimes booking in the airline's home currency, or the currency of the departure country, saves you instantly. Example, a European flight priced in euros, cheaper than USD conversion. Some Asian carrier tickets are lower booked in local currency. Credit cards with no foreign fee equals immediate travel upgrade power. Think global, not local, because airlines don't price locally. Secret number 12, ghost layovers. Reduce international tickets. Sometimes flying longer makes your flight cheaper. Sounds wrong, but here's why. Airline pricing favors routes where they want traffic growth, so a flight with a layover at their home hub often costs less than the direct flight from the same airline. Direct flight to Dubai, expensive. Flight to Mumbai via Dubai, often cheaper, on the same carrier. You're paying less for more flying. Strange world we live in, but we take the win. Secret number 13, last-minute local rate trick. Ever notice flights look cheaper when you're browsing abroad? Airline pricing is geo-targeted. Your IP address affects your cost. Sometimes simply appearing to book from a different country lowers the fare. VPN plus currency switch plus regional site version equals elite level ninja booking. One system, 3 levers. Your move. Secret number 14, book the seat, then wait for the deal. Want a business class seat without business class pricing? Many airlines slash upgrade rates a week or even a day before departure. Because one thing worse than a cheap business seat is an empty one. You lock the flight first. The upgrade offer shows later, often at 70% off points or cash. This is how seasoned flyers get lie-flat seats without lie-flat bank accounts. Secret number 15, airline mistake fares are real if you move quietly. Sometimes airlines publish the wrong price, a missing zero, a currency glitch, a route sync error. They don't advertise it. They don't want you to know they happen weekly somewhere on Earth. You find them by monitoring deal communities and setting price alerts. When you see one, book first, think later. You can always cancel within 24 hours if you change your mind. Hesitation kills deals, and airlines love hesitation. Bringing it all together. You started this video knowing airlines charge more because they can. Now you've seen exactly how they do it and how to beat them. The master mindset? Don't behave like the system expects you to. Price-aware travelers win. Reactive travelers fund the system. You're now price-aware, and airlines hate that. Use these insights when you're planning a family trip, flying elderly parents who deserve comfort, booking holiday routes where prices spike, traveling for work without corporate budgets, taking that dream vacation you've waited years for. You don't need tricks. You need awareness. And now you have it. Your turn. Tell me in the comments, what's the best airfare deal you've ever scored? And if you've got a destination you want a pricing breakdown for, drop it below. Make sure you're subscribed to BoardiFly so you never fly blind again. Until next time, fly smarter.